All right. Shalom, Shabbat, or Shabbat Shalom. May the Most Highest be praised, magnified, glorified, exalted, and esteemed. All right. You guys, yes, when you guys hear this, it will be Shabbat, at least for the area and time zone that I am in. This is being pre-recorded before Shabbat, but it is scheduled to post for you all on Shabbat, right? And that's actually what we're going to talk about real quick, y'all. Just share some scripture reflection, sharing some affirmations, and sharing some, things on how to make the Sabbath, or, also known as the Shabbat, a joyful time, right? We know that it's a covenant that was given to us to make sure that we not only know who our power is, but that we know that we are in a covenanted relationship with our power. So this is about embracing the gift of the Holy Sabbath, right? It's a time to pause. It's a time to reconnect. It's a time to rest, right? And a lot of times I think we as active believers, we try to play around with the Shabbat, the Sabbath, right, to kind of make it convenient for us. This even the scriptures, people are like, oh, Shabbat wasn't made for man, or man was made for Shabbat. I don't have the scripture in front of me, so I don't want to jack it up too much, but y'all know the scripture that I'm talking about. But it's like, do people really actually read that? Do they really actually know what that is saying, right? The Sabbath is blessed, y'all. The Sabbath was a covenant that the Most High made with his people for a reason, right? When we look at it, when we look at the Sabbath, the Shabbat, right? It's more than just, oh, we're commanded to do it, or, oh, it's, a day where, I don't have to work or, do certain things, right? It's a divine invitation from the Most High himself to pause, to rest, to realign with his presence. That's why it says it is a holy convocation, right? So we are supposed to be able to fellowship if we can, interact with each other if we can. And this is why the virtual online fellowship is a blessing, because there is some of us who may not be, around or close to another believer. Some of us travel a lot. There's many, things that can stop sometimes someone from having physical fellowship, right? I would definitely recommend it first, right? If at all possible, definitely physically fellowship if you can, starting in your own home, right? Starting in your own home with those that are around you, those that are close and near, right? And then, that is extended out, right? Again, the Shabbat, the Sabbath, it's more than just a day on the calendar, if you will. It's a divine invitation from the Most High to realign with his presence. It's a gift. It's a covenant, okay? It's a covenant. It's legit a holy pause. Hey, right? Right? It's a holy pause from the demands and the distractions of life that we deal with every day during the week. This is why we must make sure to distinguish the Sabbath from every other day. Because all those other things that we're doing throughout the week, we should not be doing on the Shabbat, on the Sabbath, right? It's a gift. It's a gift. It's a gift. A holy pause from the demands and the distractions of life during the week. In the stillness of this day, y'all, we are supposed to be filled with joy. It also, real talk, it allows us, it allows healing, y'all, because we go and go and go. Think about it. Everybody go, and you all day, all week, Salak, all week, you're going. Whether you're in the house, whether you're out the house, whether you're running errands, whether you're running a business, whatever it might be, we're going for the most part, right? So Shabbat, it also provides healing. It's truly a sacred opportunity to reflect, to recharge, and to reconnect our hearts with the Most High, right? Whether we want to admit it or not, sometimes the hustle of life can often pull us away from the Most High. Sometimes the hustle of life can often pull us in 1,000 directions, right? But on a Shabbat, okay, on the Sabbath, that should not be so, right? Because the Sabbath offers a reminder of whose we are. It offers a reminder to reconnect with the holy covenant that the Most High used the Sabbath to establish, okay? Listen, this is why it's very important to just do it the way the Most High say do it, to follow what was allowed to us, to keep it and do it just that, and be the Most High will that He takes it deeper in you and me and we and us, then so be it, right? So be it. It's a beautiful reminder of the covenant that the Most High established with His people through the Holy Shabbat, right? We can step into peace. We can step into joy. We can step into rest, y'all. Because listen, I know for me, I sleep in a little bit, okay? Sleep in. It's not just about the physical rest, though, but it's about a spiritual reset. It allows our souls to breathe, to hear the voice of the Most High, to embrace His will without distraction, to enjoy the love of those who may be around, whether you, again, physical or virtual, right? Let's jump to some scripture reflection real quick, y'all, because again, we're not gonna make this too long. If you are following the Rugayat Amet Community YouTube channel, then a mini lesson will be posted, Most High will, as well, or scheduled to post on Shabbat day, because it's our offline Shabbat, but we do fellowshipping offline as well, answering questions, email, things like that. So if you would still like to fellowship, although we won't be online in the sense of Zoom, YouTube, publicly like that, but you would still like some interaction, some fellowship, then definitely hit us up, okay? And the email will be on the screen or in the description. So let's jump to some scripture reflection real quick, right? Shemot, Exodus chapter 20, verse 8 through 10. We all know this, I believe, for the most part. And listen, for those who are new to Sabbath, right? Don't beat yourself up if you are still learning about it, right? Definitely reach out, here to guide you through it, give you tips and suggestions and things like that. But don't let nobody tell you that the Sabbath is not holy, that the Sabbath, that you can still do what you do during the week on the Sabbath. Not so. And this is why it's very important to know or to keep the Sabbath that the Most High established, okay? Exodus or Shemot chapter 20 verses 8 through 10. Remember the Sabbath day, keep it holy. 6 days you shall labor and do all your work, but the seventh is the Sabbath of the Most High, your power. On it you shall not do any works, right? Now, when it's talking about works, if you look at it in the definition or the context, it's talking about servile work you get paid for, work for hire, your job, your business, etc., right? The Shabbat, the Sabbath, is holy because it draws our attention back to the Most High, and it allows us to focus on Him, on each other, on worship, on praise, on the scriptures, versus focusing on the things that we focus on during the week, which is the demands of our daily lives, right? Isaiah, Yeshayahu, chapter 58, verses 13 through 14. If you turn your foot from the Sabbath, from doing your pleasure on my holy day, and call the Sabbath a delight. The Most High, like, listen, yeah, he knows what we already have to do. He knows our lives, right? But just, it's one day. And it bugs me out too when people try to shorten that day, right? They'll say, oh, you only got to keep, Sabbath for half of the day, or like, what? And that's a whole nother topic, right? But enjoy all of the day that the Most High has given, from even to even. Enjoy it. It's a beautiful time, right? We need time to stop and reset. The Sabbath truly is a gift for us, man. And I really do pray that people see that, because the Sabbath is meant to be a joy. It's meant to be a delight. It's meant to be in the presence of the Most High. And it simply is an act of resting, right? But the rest should be in Him. The rest should be in the comfort of being in the Most High's presence without distraction. Again, that's fellowship, that's praise, that's worship, that's resting physically, resting spiritually, right? You know what I'm saying? So Anywho, all right, then the next one, oh, this is the one I was talking about. Mark chapter 2, verse 27, right? A lot of people use this and they misuse it, right? Because they try to use it for their convenience, or they try to use it to justify the breaking of Shabbat. But that is not what Mark chapter 2:27 is talking about. The Sabbath was made for man and not man for the Sabbath. Why was the Sabbath made for man? We just, shared some things about it. You just listen, all right? It's a reset. It's a refocus. It's to, really be in the presence of the Most High without distraction. It's time to take, a physical rest, distractions from the world. So yes, the Sabbath was made for man. And it was a gift, right? So when people use that scripture to justify breaking the Shabbat, I think that does a big disservice, not just to the Most High, but to the Sabbath, the holy Sabbath, the covenant Sabbath in itself, right? And I'm going to jump right in here, y'all. I'm editing this part of the video, the audio, because I wanted to add in something about that Mark chapter 2 verse 27, right? Just to add on this scripture, and how when we look at the Sabbath was made for man, not man for the Sabbath, right? And then we look at that from a biblical or Hebraic perspective, this statement, or this scripture, I'll say, right? Because it was a statement. Hamashiach did make, a statement about it, right? But it can really be understood in a very simple way, y'all, in a profound way, right? Let's just look at it, y'all, if we could, please. Excuse me, I want to add this in there, and I'm gonna just maybe share two I guess points for each part of that verse, if that makes sense, right? So when we look at Mark 2:27, and it talks about Sabbath was made for man and not man for a Sabbath, right? That first part, Sabbath was made for man, and I did reiterate this in a part of the audio, because again, I'm actually editing the audio to add this part in, because I think it's very important, right? When the scripture says Sabbath, and actually this was Messiah speaking, right? Okay, Sabbath was made for a man. Why? Again, and I know this has been mentioned already several times in this audio, but I'm gonna re-mention it again, okay? The Sabbath was made for man in the sense of that the Sabbath is a gift. It's a gift from the Most High, because it was designed, created, allowed, and made a covenant because of the benefit that we get from it, right? It's a day of rest. It's the day of restoration. It's a day of spiritual renewal, right? It's a day to reflect on the Most High. It's a day that we can really dedicate our time back to the Most High without distractions, right? Resting from all different types of labor and just, again, different distractions, right? It allows us to reconnect with the Most High physically, mentally, spiritually, right? Emotionally, right? It's a beautiful reset and recharge, right? So on the second part of that verse where it says not man for the Sabbath, right? So okay, anywho, because I don't want to distract myself, right? But Sabbath was made for man, not man for the Sabbath. So the second part of that, not man, the Sabbath was made for man, not man for the Sabbath, right? This was in the context of that it's not a burden. It was in the context that it's not a burden, or it's not to be so strict in a sense that we observe it without understanding its purpose, right? The Sabbath has a purpose, right? For one, it puts us in covenant with the Most High forever, but then there's also other levels to it. Again, just looking at the way that we can reset and reconnect, right? So when it said not man for the Sabbath, this is what it was talking about, that the Sabbath is not a burden, right? And we can understand that when we read the whole entirety of that chapter where that verse comes from, okay? It's not about, it's not about, right, like doing it just to do it type thing, right? It's a type of observance that allows us to flourish as the creation of the Most High. It allows us to focus on doing things that are aligned with the Most High, if you will, right? The focus is not on making things harder, if you will, right? But it's to keep the Sabbath a joy. It's to keep the Sabbath a blessing. When we look at it in essence, what Hamashiach, Messiah, Yahushua was saying, he was emphasizing that the Sabbath had a purpose that would benefit the people who kept it, not to make it some type of burden by saying that, right? The Sabbath is meant to be a time of a reset. It's really a time to let everything go that we have to deal with during the week. It's a time of peace. It's a time of connecting with the Most High, connecting with each other, right? It's not a I don't know no other way to say it. It's not a burden, right? And it can be very irksome, if you will, when people try to make it that way, right? Like people who try to say, oh well, and I've heard this so much over the years, y'all. You know what I mean? Oh well, I can't get certain things done before the evening, so I'm just gonna only, keep half part of it. Like like we don't have that authority to change what is written unless that authority is given by the Most High. Yeah, I mean, but I just wanted to add that in here, y'all. So it's gonna pick right back up on the continuation of talking about that part of the Sabbath. All right, shalom. Created for us, right? You know what I'm saying? To rest. If we think about the beginning and what the lifestyle was, the Sabbath was a blessing because our people was a very big agricultural people. So we worked, okay? We worked, and we worked hard, right? So the Sabbath was made for man to be a blessing and to be a gift, okay? So affirmations to help us all embrace the Sabbath, right? 1, pause. To rest in the presence of the Most High, knowing that the Sabbath is a sacred covenant and a sacred gift that allows us to reset, spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally, morally, right? That allows us to reset, right? So that affirmation would just be that. I pause to rest in the presence of the Most High, knowing that the Sabbath is a sacred covenant and a sacred gift and a reset for my soul. Praise Yah. The second one, the second affirmation to embrace the Sabbath would be, I choose joy on this holy day, delighting in Yah, His word, and His presence. Ooh, all right now. 3, I release, this good one, y'all, right? I release the weight of the week. I release the weight of the week and step into the peace of the Sabbath, okay? Shalom Shabbat, peace on the Sabbath. Some may say Shabbat Shalom, which is, Shabbat Shalom is more peace on Sabbath, and Shalom Shabbat, no wait, I said it backwards. Shalom Shabbat is peace on Sabbath. Shabbat Shalom is Sabbath peace to you. I think I said that right, y'all. I don't know. Don't quote me on the exact way to say it. But yeah, y'all. So that was the 3, and then how to make, just 3 quick things on how to make the Sabbath a joyful reset. Okay, a joyful reset. And listen, I know that there's a sister who did a really great video. I gotta see if I can find it where she did it actual live in real time, showing kind of like the steps. If I find it, I'll definitely share that. But if anybody want to do that, you want to volunteer to do a pre Shabbat or a prep Shabbat type video, I'll be glad to edit it for you. I'll be glad to do voiceover for you. You know what I'm saying? And it could be something that we can share amongst each other, right? So here's some things, right? You guys can even take these 3, make a video out of it, and it could be something really great for those of us who are maybe at the beginning stage of keeping the Sabbath. Even those of us who've been keeping it, right? We could never not do something better, if that makes sense. All right, y'all. So how to make the Sabbath a joyful reset, right? Again, the Sabbath is not about just, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that. Nah, the Sabbath is not just about rules, okay? It's about creating a space to connect with the Most High, right? To connect with the Most High. So here is 3 simple, joyful ways to engage in that connection, if you will, right? Share a meal, invite family or friends into a Sabbath meal, right? Where you guys can just eat, you can laugh, you can reflect, you know what I'm saying? You can give thanks together, share a meal, enjoy a meal, right? The second thing is reflection, right? Take time to reflect and connect with the Most High, right? Meditate on the Most High's word, meditate on his goodness. Hey, listen, get out in nature, you know what I'm saying? Go sit on the porch or sit in your backyard, I do know some people who tend to take walks and things like that. That's to your own discretion, right? But reflect and connect. All right, reflect and connect. All right, and then another one would be worship freely, right? Let me rephrase that: praise and worship freely, because praise and worship is 2 different things, but they go well together. Okay, when you're in a state of praise, man, listen, dance and sing, and you know what I'm saying. Do that to the Most High. Do that to the Most High with others who are doing the same thing. This is the joy of a holy convocation, right? Because we get to share and celebrate the Most High together, right? If it's just you physically, right, still link up with somebody, call somebody on the phone, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. Of course, I would say not of course really, but each Shabbat, can be a bit different, right? Like for us here at the Aruka Ahmet community, we do online, offline, right? When we're offline, we're still in the joy of Shabbat. We're still fellowshipping. We're still doing those things, right? Just not online, on Zoom or on YouTube, right? So, all that say, like, so whether it's just you can still find a way to just, link up with others, whether physically or virtually. If it's just you and you just want to chill on the Shabbat, right? Like no company, you know what I'm saying? You might not go, if you go to a assembly, you're not going out to assembly, you just home chilling, right? Still make sure that you are still practicing these same steps, that you are still implementing and embracing the joy, the holiness, and the covenant of the Shabbat, right? Because you can still do all these things, okay? So definitely dance, sing, make sure you are praying and connecting with the Most High, right? And worship, right? I'm talking about face down worship brings joy. It brings joy, and praise shifts our heart towards gratitude. Praise shifts our heart towards, thanks and reflection. And the scripture tells us, I don't have it pulled up, I'm sorry, but I'm sure one of you guys know it, right? Feel free to share it in a comment, right? But the Most High said that he dwells in the praise of Israel. He dwells in the praise of his people, right? So how much more so should we do it, like, more and harder, on Shabbat, right? And yes, we should be doing all these things during the week. Let's not get it twisted, right? But the difference with the Shabbat is because we don't have anything to interrupt us from doing these things freely, from doing these things without distraction, right? During the week, we do these things, yes, but there's distractions, right? Because you got work, people have children, people are married, you have a business, like, so there's a lot of distractions in the midst of the week. But on Shabbat, I praise Yah, there should be no outside distractions. Shouldn't be. And most High will, we can all get to that level where there isn't. Okay, so just the closing thoughts, you guys. The Shabbat is more than just a day. It's an invitation to the beauty of simplicity in the Most High. It's an invitation into the worship and peace with the Most High. It's an invitation to dwell in the Most High's presence. It's an invitation to show the Most High your gratitude. You talk about impress somebody. This is a great time for you to impress the Most High. You know what I mean? Go above and beyond than you've ever did. Every Shabbat, go above and beyond, right? Whether you've observed it for years or you're just stepping into it for the first time, know this. The Sabbath restores the soul, heals the heart, and aligns us with the Most High. Yes, it does, right? So take a moment, man. Take a moment to pause. Let the hustle of the week fade away. Put it down, right? And enjoy the Shabbat. Enjoy, right? Hallelujah. All right, y'all. So that's all I got. It went a little longer than I expected, but hey, praise God, right? So I just wanted to share that with you guys, right? Embrace the Shabbat, the Sabbath, the seventh day Sabbath, a day being even to even, right? That's a whole nother topic, but it is what it is. Here at Aruka Ahmet, we stand on even to even, right? That is a full day in its entirety. That's one part of the day and another part of the day that comes together and make up a whole day, all right? Just wanted to share that with you guys, right? Embracing the gift of the true holy seventh day Shabbat, a time to pause, rest, reset, reconnect with the Most High, rest yourself physically, be amongst family members, friends, and y'all, because I can really go on and on about this. The Shabbat is amazing. It's Sabbath, the holiness of it, the meditation of it, the reset of it, the covenant of it. Okay, all right, y'all, but that's it for real on this one. All right, one love, my beautiful people. Shalom.